Here's a guy who can talk about it all. He can talk about dancing at weddings. He can talk about doing the salute in the end zone. He can talk a little Shannon Sharpe, a little Broncos. We can talk a little, I don't know, Super Bowl champion caliber pedigree with this All-American at Stanford, three-time Super Bowl champ, Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame father to Max, Luke, Dylan, and Christian, of course. Ed McCaffrey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for that intro. You're hired.
Oh, great.
My hype person for the rest of my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm known to the Alpha generation as Christian's dad, and now after the wedding, Lisa's husband. So yeah, those highlights, you really had to like convert those VHSs over to digital. I do appreciate it.
Ed, when's the last time you had a good nap? I feel like it's been a lot lately for you.
Yeah, I've not recovered. I'm not going to lie to you. We had the most amazing 2 weeks of our lives, obviously culminating with the wedding of Christian and Olivia. They made an official. I mean, Olivia's felt like part of our family for years now. I mean, going back to COVID, where she lived with us for almost 100 days and really got to know Sophie and Aurora and Gus and Pete, her brothers and sisters, and mom, dad, Peter and Susan. I mean, they've been like family to us for years now, but the wedding was off the charts. Olivia did such a great job. I'm sure Christian contributed to the planning. But I mean, from the time we got there at the Ocean House Resort, which is right on the ocean there in Rhode Island, it's just an incredibly beautiful place this time of the year, to the rehearsal dinner, and Lisa did a great job with that, to the welcome party, to the actual wedding in the chapel. I mean, it felt like a royal wedding or like presidential to me. I've never been part of something like that. It's the best wedding I've ever been to. But I mean, obviously, emotionally, listening to Christian and Olivia recite their vows was one of the emotional parts of the day. You know, you well up kind of with tears. It's your son getting married to someone he loves. Watch them look in each other's eyes and recite their vows was pretty amazing. My son Max gave a great toast at the reception. I was proud of him. And as a dad, you know, you're just happy that your sons love each other, and there was some brotherly love going on there. And then just the cast of people, it's always about the people, right? I mean, people from when Christian was in Little League, friends of ours forever, going back to my days at the Broncos, and then at Stanford and the Panthers with the 49ers guys. They were all getting along and having a good time. It was a lot of fun.
No speech from you?
Yeah, I gave a little toast at the welcome party.
How'd it go? What would you grade yourself?
I'll give myself a solid B. Like, I got emotional and you know, I wasn't sure if I was going to speak or not, but then eventually Peter and I got up there and we said a few words, and it was very short. We welcomed everyone to the party, but you know, it was you know, there was a script, there was a speech, and then after 2 hours of socializing and hanging out, I just kind of winged it. So hopefully it went okay. You can ask other people how it went, but it was just, you know, I speak from the heart. I love Christian. I love Olivia. Love the Colpo family. And I was so happy that all my boys were there. Lisa and I don't get to have all of them together at the same time very often. And just seeing the different family members mix and mingle, and then, you know, friends of ours from both sides of the family who will never, ever get in the same room again, right? I mean, you're never going to get that many people from all walks of your life together in the same room very often. It was just incredibly fun. And it was, I think it was a testament to Christian and Olivia to how many wonderful friends that they have that attended the wedding. Which
McCaffrey got most emotional?
Lisa, for sure. You know, she's a proud mama. But I got pretty emotional too. I stare at the ceiling. I try not to well up too much. I'm a tough guy, but when your son gets married, it's pretty emotional, especially when you absolutely love the person that he's marrying and their family. So
Ed, Lisa didn't have time to be emotional. Lisa was too busy being the life of the party. I had Luke Kuechly on the show on Monday, so we got the lowdown.
Okay. Oh gosh,
and then this doesn't look like an emotional mama bear right here.
Lisa doesn't need a dance floor to dance. I see this every day. And I was so happy somebody captured it, because she dances like this literally every day. She does not need a dance floor. But if there is a dance floor, you better believe she's going to be out on there tearing it up. I think I was in the corner doing the robot or something. I do not have the rhythm and the moves that Lisa has, but she was having some fun. She was happy for Christian and Olivia. And then once the music started playing, you couldn't keep her off the dance floor.
I just feel like we should just really say what it really is. I feel like everyone says that the boys get their footwork from you, but it's very clearly Lisa.
There's things they may get from me, but their moves on the dance floor and some of their footwork, for sure. They have a pretty pretty talented mama. She put that on display.
Yeah, she ran a 4.840 allegedly while pregnant. So she's an absolute monster in her own right, which we love. And congratulations to you, to the families, to both families, and all of that. It's obvious that Lisa knows how to celebrate. But we were talking this morning about. I said, can we give Ed some love? Like, does he ever dance in the end zone? Like, let's find a touchdown. Because I feel like the '90s era, as we talked about in the NFL, doesn't get enough credit for the celebrations that you all were cooking up. The Dirty Bird, Gilbert Brown's Gravedigger, your Broncos with the Mile High Salute. I feel like we need some more innovation. You got to get Christian to turn it up this year.
Yeah, we were never, we don't do much celebration in the end zone. You try to act like you've been there before and you hope you get there again. And I grew up in an era where there wasn't as much of it. The Mile High Salute was pretty cool. I'll give the running backs credit for that. Terrell Davis and the running back group had their No Limit Soldiers and started the Mile High Salute, and our whole team embraced that celebration. I would just spike it as hard as I could. That's really all that I had. There were no other moves other than that. But we were celebrating nonetheless. I mean, we had some pretty good years where we won a couple of Super Bowls, and that was a whole lot of fun. That was all the celebration I needed. Then they'd play the music, and then Lisa would get back on the dance floor. So a good time was had by all.
We can talk about those Super Bowls and all the amazing catches you had in your career. I do want to point out, as we just are, in the retro part of this interview, I don't think anyone talks enough about how great of a run blocker you were. Please walk me through this decleater that you had on Brian Williams in Super Bowl 32.
Yeah, my kids point out that would have been 30 yards of penalties in today's game, which probably is true. But it was completely legal back then, so that is. But I will say that is like, if you're going to have a peel back block, that is how you do it, right? Head up, you don't hit them from behind. So yeah, we were. I had a pretty good teammate in Rod Smith and Shannon Sharpe at tight end, and Mike Shanahan, our head coach, said you better block or you won't be on the field. And Rod Smith and I cut our teeth blocking in the run game. We were backups to start our career in Denver, and that's how we got on the field. So we took a lot of pride in the run game. It's not something a lot of receivers brag about, but as a coach or a teammate, when you see the wide receivers blocking down the field, you can really appreciate it, especially the running backs. I know Terrell Davis really appreciated it, and I got a Rolex to prove that. And I know that Christian really appreciates it. He thanks those guys all the time, the guys on the 49ers that are blocking for him. And I think, it's not often talked about, but, receivers in the run game, it's important. It could be a play here or a play there, or something that springs the running back for a touchdown or makes the difference in a game. And those types of players, whether it's receiver or those selfless players at other positions, they make a difference.
Ed, to do that to a linebacker as a wide receiver is crazy.
Well, one, I'm a big wide receiver. I was like 6'5", 222 at the time. So it's not like I was a small wide receiver. But two, he didn't see me coming. So it certainly helps when they don't see you coming. That makes my job a little bit easier.
You mentioned Shannon Sharpe. I need your best Shannon Sharpe story. Hopefully one that hasn't been told over. Dig deep for me.
Shannon made me laugh almost every single day. We had, another teammate of mine, Keith Burns, and there were some others that would chime in, but they were like from making fun of what guys were wearing on the team bus or the team plane to making fun of what they were eating. They never stopped. Like, Shannon can unpack the adjectives, right? He talks a lot. He talks a lot on his show, his podcast, and he talked a lot as a player. So I'm not shocked at all that he's had such a phenomenal career in the media, because he was that way without the cameras rolling in the locker room. But, there's, of course, that famous footage of him calling for the National Guard when we were beating the Patriots in New England. I was sitting right next to him during that, and that was a pretty fun moment.
Love that. You're talking about wide receivers, what they do and don't get credit for, what they do, the run blocking, all of it. I want to ask you about Brandon Aiyuk. You know the Niners front office well. Your son, of course, plays for them. I heard George Kittle confident that the extension might get done. He was saying that to Rich Eisen just yesterday. What do you make of the Brandon Aiyuk Niner situation?
I think they'll sign him eventually. Look, they love him. I mean, they want him on the team. Kyle Shanahan has said it. John Lynch has said it. We want Brandon Aiyuk on the team. They've said recently they're not interested in trading him. I never say never, but it's the business part of it. Like, as a player, as a teammate, the guys on the team want him on the team. They want him to sign. The coaches want him on the team. They want him to sign. The fans want him. But, he's been offered, from what I understand, somewhere around 26, 27 million. Some of the receivers that have signed this offseason have signed for larger numbers per year. It's going to come down to the guaranteed money at signing And it's going to come down to both of them, both the team, San Francisco 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk, settling on a number. And the best negotiations typically involve both parties being indifferent and then walking away not completely happy with what they paid him or what he's receiving in compensation. So that's how it works. You saw Bosa hold out right to the beginning of the season last year, signed right before the first game. That happened a couple of other times with the 49ers. And that's probably what will happen with Brandon Aiyuk. You know, trying to step back and be objective, he doesn't have a whole lot of leverage, you know, just miss games and not get paid. But you know, I think it'll work out because he wants to be on the team and they want him on the team. And they can't wait for him to sign and get on the field. But it's probably not going to happen tomorrow. I do anticipate it should happen before the first game.
When you look at Aiyuk from your eyes and you're trying to make the argument to pay him, what is the one? Like I look at explosiveness, I look at route running when I look at Brandon Aiyuk. What, in your Ed McCaffrey eyes, what is the thing? If you're his agent, you're pounding the table and saying this is what makes him different.
He's a Pro Bowl caliber receiver that plays outside the numbers. He's their guy outside the numbers, right? He can run every route in the route tree. He's got good size, good speed, excellent route runner, playmaker. He's a big part of what they do offensively when they want to throw the ball down the field. So he's got all the intangibles, and he's produced on the field. So there's nothing not to like about Brandon Aiyuk's game. And I also really like how he fits into this offense. He's that guy right outside the numbers. And receivers are getting paid like crazy. So I understand why he is negotiating for more money. He's seeing what some of the other guys are getting paid. At the same time, they have a team full of, you know, it's an all-star cast of players on the San Francisco 49ers. And they're also looking down the road, right? They got to pay Brock Purdy at some point. So I don't think it's about even a 1-year contract. It's about, look, what are we committing to, knowing that we're going to have to sign our quarterback to a pretty high number? And can we, you know, who can we keep on the team moving forward? And can we pay them all? You can't pay everyone forever. You know, eventually you got to take a hit somewhere. And so I think what they're trying to do, because they want to get back to and win a Super Bowl. That's what this year's about, winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't even care about what's after this year. Ed, they got to win a Super Bowl this year. Yeah. And so I ask you, I mean, I can't imagine my dad winning 3 Super Bowls and then wanting to win one and then losing one. What is like the line you walk, or the balance of motivating versus saying like you don't? I'm just curious how you've helped maybe Christian in the aftermath of losing the Super Bowl, and how to, you know, as a man, as a team, as an athlete, get off the mat and let's do it again.
Well, you just turn the page. There's nothing else you can do. You know, they will forever, for the rest of their lives, feel like they had an opportunity to win a Super Bowl and they didn't win it. And it was a collective team effort. So all you can do as a player is look at what you did well, and try to do it again. And then look at where you fell short and try to not let that happen again. So, you know, admit it, fix it, don't do it again, suit back up and keep competing and take one step forward every day towards winning a Super Bowl. And, you know, individuals don't win Super Bowls. Teams win Super Bowls. So the San Francisco 49ers as a team need to collectively get better. Despite how good they are or what the roster looks like going into the season, they need to play better than they did a year ago to win a Super Bowl. So that's the goal for the team. That's their expectation. That's my expectation. But we know how hard that is to do. So, but trust me, they can't get to the season soon enough.
And they got a lot of work to do, because you've got Luke McCaffrey being a standout at Commanders camp, the 3rd-round pick by them, hanging out with Jaden Daniels, and I know you're very proud about that. But I'm hearing things about that Luke McCaffrey in that camp, and I'm very excited to go visit him at training camp. So it's like the year of the McCaffreys. Enjoy it. You know, salute to the McCaffreys, and of course your amazing Rocky Mountain mustard and horseradish, which I need you to send to me.
What? Did you mention that?
Well, you got to get it in the camera. You got to get it. Come on, there you go.
Some in my desk right here.
Could you send some to my set, please?
Yes, we will send you some today. I can't believe you don't have it already.
Ed, could you please I need to see that. What is that shot of you?
Yeah. So we got the spicy brown, and then we have the horseradish sauce. They're both really delicious. You can see I use it. I couldn't afford to get a new one. I'm just bringing one out of my refrigerator.
Love.
But these hats, like we have a Chipotle as well. Every graphic, Lisa approved. So if you see these hats on me, it was kind of along the Newman Owens line. But
Okay.
they've been selling since the 90s. And we have a lot of loyal Broncos fans here in Colorado, and it's a phenomenal product. And we're looking to extend our product line. We also launched a website a couple weeks ago, McCaffreybrands.com. So if you don't live in Colorado or the surrounding states and you want to try to get some, just go to McCaffreybrands.com and you can order it. You will not regret it. And I'm so thankful to all the Broncos fans and NFL fans, and also people that don't even know that I played. Kind of like maybe some of the young people watching. Think I'm Christian dad in Colorado. To some people, I'm Christian dad. To others, I'm the mustard guy.
The mustard guy.
Who's this guy? It's like, oh, that's the mustard guy. I'm like, mustard. So
You're
anyway,
like, I have 3 Super Bowl rings. What are you talking about? Oh, I love it. Well, congratulations to you, the family, and everything, and sending love, of course, and just Year of the McCaffrey. Let's go.
thank you. Appreciate you having me on the show.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
of course.
Say hi to Luke. If you get to Washington, say hi to Luke.
Yes,
We're
I will.
excited.
I'm going to get there. I will say hi to him. Cam Hayward on the show. Kevin Durant coming up next.